Ooh, my first date with comedy was in Burlington, Vermont, a creperie which had a weekly comedy show. It was not just Vermont comics. Comics from New York and Boston would come in. That was the first time I ever felt like I really crushed a set, like I really did well. And that was also the first time that another out-of-town comic saw me perform and booked me. And that's when I knew he was the one. I fell hard. I was only about 6 months into performing comedy, and I had been making waves in the scene in Vermont. A really great cerebral palsy coalition in Vermont got wind of me and hired me to do a half hour. I didn't even have half an hour of jokes, so I had to write jokes, and it was the first time that I wrote really fearlessly. I wrote about the really darkest sides of my disability. A woman came up to me after at that conference and said, "My son was born via a traumatic birth, and I never thought I would laugh about any of that, but you just made me laugh so hard." The catharsis that came over me from being that force to someone. It was right before I began to put my comedy on the internet, and I was still working kind of as an under the radar, completely comedian, and I was going to headline a show in another state. I think about 6 people came, and then 2 of those people left in the middle of my show. I really had that kind of crisis that I think all comedians have. What am I doing here? Why do I put myself through this? But that's the thing about comedy, and I think about relationships. When the good times are good, they're great, and they carry you through whatever happens. I knew it was forever about a year in. It was the first creative endeavor that I've ever done where I was actually getting external validation saying, "No, Tina, you should stick with this." The shows kept coming, and they kept getting bigger and expanding beyond Vermont. I thought, uh-oh, this might be something I do instead of using my degree. Hey there, I'm Tina Friml. I'm at Helium Comedy Club. Look me up on Instagram and TikTok. I have an amazing link tree on my profiles that have all the tickets to all the shows